Hello students, welcome to the second day of online tutorial session. Today we will discuss about these generations of computers. Okay, so how actually the modern computers come, this history I have learned from the ancient history, that where actually the computer concept comes. But today what we are using this modern computer, how this evolved, this generation after the going generation modification, today we will learn about this. Okay, I am skipping this elaborate part from the chart, this one. Okay, just follow this chart because here in this chart detailed description is there. Okay, so now come to the first generation. The year is 1942 to 1955. Okay, so in this first generation of computer, the technology which is used, that is the vacuum tube. Okay, in the year 1906, American physicist Lee Frost actually built this computer. The example of the first generation of computer, you can say that ENIAC. Okay, it is very large in size. Okay, and power consumption. If you the question will come that what are the characteristics or features of first generation of computer? Write 2 or 4. Okay, so you will mention the power consumption was very high, very large in size, generate much heat, slow in case of processing speed, and they are programmed in only the machine language. Machine language just 0 and 1. Okay, it will take any kind of instruction only in zeros and ones. Okay, so the example you can say ENIAC and UNIVAC 1. Okay, UNIVAC is Universal Automatic Computer. Okay, now come to the second generation, that is start from 1956 to 1964. The technology used, it is the transistor. It is invented in the year 1947 by William Shockley and his team in Bell's laboratory. Okay, it is what are the features? You can say it is a slightly smaller, cheaper and faster than the first generation computer. Magnetic core-based memories are used instead of this vacuum tube. Commercially also available. Okay, high programming language like COBOL, Fortran, this kind of a programming language is introduced. Okay, floating point calculation is widely used over here. Floating point means this point 24.4, then this kind of a calculation. Okay, processing speed is much more faster than on first generation of computer. Example, you can say IBM 1401 and IBM 1602. Now come to the third generation of computer. Okay, year is 1965 to 1970. Okay, the technology it is used, it is the integrated circuit developed by J.K. Kirby of the Texas Instrument in the 1959. Okay, so they were used instead of transistor to build this computers. Okay, so an IC is combined of several electronic components into the small wafers of silicon, only the several millimeters of thick. Okay, so this computer compared to the other generation is very smaller, cheaper and faster, more reliable. Okay, here in the previous three magnetic core based memory is used, but here semiconductor memories are used. Okay, and disk drive is introduced over here. We can use the uses of operating system is allowed in this system. Okay, processing speed is become in nanosecond, the processing order of nanoseconds. So the example is UNIVAC 1108 or Honeywell 200 series, or you can say IBM system 360 series. Now fourth generation in the year 1971 to 1985. Okay, microprocessor technology used in this computer, made up with the smallest in size and the faster performance with the help of VLSI and ULSI technology. So now before going to the details of the fourth generation computer characteristics, now we need to learn about what is VLSI, what is ULSI. Okay, first come to the technology. I will discuss SSSI. SSSI actually, this is actually a terminology. This ULSI, VLSI or MSSI or SSSI is used to indicate the total number of active component or the transistors that are being packed into a single IC chip. Okay, SSI stands for small scale integration, combine the less than 12 integrated components like transistor or diode or okay. Next, MISI, it is a medium scale integration. This short form will come. Okay, write down the full form of ALSI, this kind of. Okay, next is ASI, which is a large scale integration, more than 100 integrated components per chip. Now come to the very large scale integration, that is VLSI, very large scale integration. It contains 1 lakh components per chip. That is this is a modern technology that we are using. The next is ultra large scale integration. It is containing more than 1 million components in a single chip. So modern days a microprocessor like Pentium, Core I, this kind of a technology use this USLI. Okay, this kind of a technology. Okay, so this mini computers are programmed and came up with the capable of user-friendly software packages like Word and Office. Even non-technical person can use that. Or the smaller computers become more powerful. They could be linked together. They can form a network. Okay, the concept of networking also comes over here. The example, Intel 404 or like one example is enough. Now comes to the 5th generation. Okay, in case of 5th generation, we are not actually depending on this microprocessor cheap kind of a technology. Okay, so we are actually moving towards the technology called KIPS. Okay, KIPS means what? Knowledge Information Processing System. Actually, you can say the 5th generation, it is actually here we are using the technology of artificial intelligence. Okay, so what are the features of this? This computer are based on the concept of parallel processing and neural networking. Actually, neural networking is a very vast topic, and also parallel processing also. Actually, they will, in case of artificial intelligence, what we are doing, they will take the experts' knowledge actually. So they will take the expert knowledge, they will build a systems or software or a robot. They can actually take the decisions like a human being. But though there is this kind of a device, this is a device, but they possess this kind of a intelligence or the decision capacity like human being. Okay, this is the knowledge information processing system. This uses a Prolog, that is programming logic language for programming. Okay, so computer processes artificial intelligence to make the decision. Okay, now the generation is over. Now we come to the classification. Okay, so right now we have known the different generation, how these computers evolve, but now come to the different type of computers. Okay, depending upon the size and compatibility, we can classify the computers in 4 formats, 4 ways. That is supercomputer, mainframe computers, microcomputer, and mini computer. First, we will discuss about the supercomputer. Okay, so supercomputers are very large computers mainly used for the scientific and the research organization. This actually processes the complex scientific data that requires huge processing power in the area like weather forecasting, astronomy, speech analysis, code breaking. Okay, the supercomputers are actually using the parallel processing that we are able to see in the 5th generation. Okay, to solve the problems. Okay, the speed of the supercomputer is generally measured in the unit number of floating point operations per second. Okay, so what is the first supercomputer? That is Cray-1 supercomputer, was the first computer capable of performing at over 10 to the power 8 flops. Okay, now come to the mainframe computer. Okay, so what is mainframe computer? The mainframe supercomputer have limited application and are too expensive for the normal use, but mainframe computers on the other hand is a large type of computers after the supercomputers. Okay, So mainframe computers are used in the large organizations such as banks, railway, airways, hospital that need the frequent access of the same information stored in it, because it will act like a huge database where each and every database, or you can say the server. Okay, more familiar term. So these are expensive, large in size, high-speed multi-user system. Multiple people can access it. Okay, and usually housed certainly in a server large cabinet. Okay, where you can put a server. Okay, the very large area is required. Now come to the next topic, that is mini computer. Okay, so this belong to the class of the multi-user computer, which make for the middle range of computing spectrum between the mainframe computer and the personal, just in between that. Okay, this product of the third generation of computers. Okay, they have the large memory capacity. Okay, faster input output devices actually run full multi-user mode. Multi-user mode, multiple people can access, and another thing is multitasking. Multitasking at the same time you can operate the different. Suppose you are working in the Word as well as you open the PowerPoint presentation window. So multiple tasks you can do. Okay, the example you can say IBM System 38. Okay, now come to the mini computer. So mini computer are actually the devices we are actually using. It is small enough to place on a desk, or cheap enough to afford by the middle class people, or a small organization. Okay, it is designed only for the single user purpose, not for the multi-user purpose. Okay, so under this there are different categories are there, like personal computer, or you can say the PC, basically home based computer, or you can say the desktop computers currently you are using, and multi-core processor is there, hard disk drive is there, the capacity of 4 to 8 GB of RAM, 500 GB to 1 TB hard disk capacity is there, USB, VGA or HDMI port is there, graphics card is there, generally we are using. Now come to the different part, that is workstation. So workstation is a high-end desktop microcomputer. Okay, so offers a very high performance than the PC, and especially it is only only suitable for the graphic designing purpose. Okay, actually nowadays the manipulating complex data related to 3D graphics, and or you can say engineering simulation, complex mathematical plus. For this reason we are generally using the workstation. Okay, or Sun Spark Station OnePlus is an example of the workstation. Now come to the notebook PC or netbook. These are the portable battery operated computer are used by the people like in business executives, salespeople. Okay, that is like a version of a laptop. It's a lightweighted. These are also known as a notebook PC or netbook. It is known as a laptop. Okay, full size keyboard, 14 inch to 15 inch LCD, TFT LED displays there, touchpad, mouse is there, CD drive, USB, all are combined over here. Okay. Okay, netbook are portable computers smaller than the traditional laptop. Okay, the cost of netbook is lesser than the laptop. Now come to the plum top computer, or you can say tab. This very small battery operated computer that can fit inside your palm of a person. That's why it is called personal digital assistant. The full form is what is the full form? Meaning full form of PDA. It is personal digital assistant. So now we have classified the computer depending on the size actually. Now we will classify the computer depending on the working principle. Okay. If you try to classify this depending on the working principle, they are classified into three categories. One is analog computer, another one is digital computer, and third one is the hybrid computer. So an analog computer is a form of a computer. It is not, I am saying that it is an actual computer. It is a form of a computer that uses the particular physical properties. What are the physical properties? Like electrical or mechanical characteristics of a device to solve problems. Okay. So this analog device continues in the variation in the process. Okay, now what kind of a physical quantity it is taking as an input, like voltage, current, pressure, okay, this kind of a thing. Okay, frequency is also there, resistance is also there. Okay, and the example of this, you can say it is slide ruler, square root extractor, okay, speedometer of the car, okay, energy meter. This kind of in case of voltmeter, okay, energy meter. These are actually the example of the analog devices. Now come to the digital computer. A digital device actually use discrete electrical voltage level. Discrete electrical voltage means, if you know, the sine curve is there, sine curve is look like this. Okay, sometimes it will show you the high peak, sometimes it show you the low peak, and discrete means this kind of a thing. Always symmetry is not there. Okay, so discrete electrical voltage level to encode the encode a real life situation or process. Okay, it is a continuous process. It could be encoded in a discrete. Okay, so high peaks denotes the 1 and low peaks denotes the 0. Like in this format, it will take the input. Okay. Accuracy level of this digital device is very high compared to the analog one. Okay. Digital computers are electronic in nature and made up of electronic components like transistor. In case of analog computer, it can be mechanical in nature, or it is made up using resistance, capacitance. Okay. In case of digital computer, computations are performed in case of using binary numbers. Binary numbers, this means the combination of 0 and 1. But here, in analog computer, the computation are performed in the variation of different physical quantities, that is voltage or resistance, something like that. Okay. Now comes to the okay, example is like modern computer, digital cameras, scanners, okay, that we are using. Now comes to the point of a hybrid computer. Okay, so hybrid computers are the device which is actually the combination of, combines the feature of both analog and the digital computer. So that's why it is known as hybrid. Okay. Hybrid computer usually use the analog computer front end and the signal output, from which then is fed into the digital computer for the further computation. Okay, so our hybrid computer usually sustainable faster than the digital. In case of ICCU, we have seen the parameter monitoring the body, whole body measurement parameters they are monitoring. Heart rate, BP, pulse, and everything they are monitoring with a big machine in the ICCU. This kind of a machine, you can say, because they are taking input as a physical parameter, like it will work like an analog device. Then the data is converted into this binary format and is processed and give you the result. This is the part of a digital. That's why it is a hybrid amalgamation of both these things. The example of the body parameter monitoring unit in ICCU. Okay. Okay. So why we are using? What is the role of computer in the modern society? We have learned the generation. We have learned the earlier history. 9 different types of computer available in the market. So why we need this? What is the importance of this? Why it is so crucial things? Why it is so important? So next is the various uses of computer in the modern society. Okay. So the computer, what airports and railway station it is used. In airport, computer helps to provide information passenger about their flight, monitor the flight pass, every details, book tickets and something like that, helping to provide the general information, also booking ticket. In case of bank, it is very, very important. Computer in the bank are used to keep the track record or details of the customer accounts, like deposit, withdraw, balance, transfer of money and everything. Okay, you can do online banking, telebanking also. Factories and offices, in case of factory, computer are used to keep the account of the inventory. So how many raw materials are there, what is stock in hand, okay, finished product, maintenance cost, accounting, okay, this kind of ledger they have to maintain, journal ledger, okay, finance account or trade account, loss and gain account, something like that, okay, or keeping the customer details, sending the mails, keeping records like this. Homes, so in home and the computer used for entertainment purposes, listening music, or for small kids they can learn the computer, they can they can draw, or internet searching, okay, from sending mails, for watching the YouTube tutorial videos and all, for home purpose. Hospital purpose, actually they can use for the analysis of patient, for the diagnosis of diseases like, I mean, the ICCU I am telling you. And then normally they can keep, normally if they are using the normal PC computer, they can keep a track record of a patient or bill history. Okay, this comes in the school and college. They purely for the the teaching aid use. Okay, see the CD when I show the videos, PowerPoint presentations. Okay, some like this. Multimedia. So multimedia describe a wide range of application that involves the uses of various media like video, sounds. Okay, multimedia data like audio and video. So what are the application in multimedia? Application program, like several application program use the multimedia features apart from the text email. Can now also include in case of picture, audio, video clips on online chat programs like desktop application, that is becomes known as DTP. At present, a person with a PC on his desktop and proper application of software can print, can design and publish the multicolor literacy walk, brochure, poster, okay, this kind of a thing. And education, so teaching tool, it is basically like a computer based training, CD, e-books are there, okay, e-encyclopedia, e-dictionaries are there, you can watch the videos, make the videos. Now there is a very good use in the VFX also. Okay, so film industry in the visual effect in movie, making imaginary creature, background sources, animation and all, we are using the computer. Now the favorite part of the kids, that is the computer games. The multimedia features are also used to create the interesting and interactive games using the software like Flash, Director, etc. Thank you, student. Ending the lecture over here and also complete the first chapter.